G'day everyone. The Maze of Death is one of the Gate of Infinity dungeons that you can do at level 50. You can definitely complete this in blue and green armor. You just won't be doing as much damage, so you won't be ranking as well if that's what you're after. If you just want to get the completion reward though, here's what you need to know. This boss only has about 3 basic mechanics, but there's not a lot of downtime. He uses them very quickly, and you need to do a lot of dodging. This boss will kill you quickly if you're not dodging and standing in puddles. The first ability is this large purple circle that you see here. These hurt a lot and you don't have a lot of time to get out of them, so use your defensive dodge if you need to. Every time that gets used, this little yellow orb gets left behind in the position of that closest purple circle to you. You should always try and safely pick those up if you can. And as you see, those will keep coming out fairly regularly throughout the whole fight. The boss will use this slam fairly regularly, which is his fury attack. Make sure you use your defensive ability for that one. And the only other ability is when he throws out these small puddles, and he always throws them out in sets of 3. And he always does that twice in a row in the first half of the fight. So keep that in mind. That's one thing that you can be ready for. Once the boss is below 50% health, he'll change the pattern a little bit. He nearly always starts with the large circle and then does 2 sets of puddles with 6 in each now, which just covers more area, making it a little more annoying to dodge. The boss has 2 intermission maze phases where you have to navigate out of the maze before it blows up. He does this at about 90% health and again at about 40% health. You don't have a lot of time to do this, so in general, make sure you go straight into your morph to run faster. You jump these little lines of lightning and dodge the little orbs because those will mess you up. Now for the first maze at 90% health, as soon as you turn around, you want to be turning left at the very first gate. Jump this one here, and then at the second gate, you're turning left again. You always do those 2 left. Double jump here, and then at this point, for the third gate, you're looking there on your way through to see if there's a gap. If there's not, that one was closed, so we're going to left here again. So this first maze is always the first 2 lefts for the first 2 gates, and then the third you need to check. Because sometimes, as you see here, we're going to go left twice, as always, and then when you get here and check, there's actually a gap there. All right, so now you know that the third one needs to be a right. So it's always left to left and then check for the third on the way through. At around 40%, he's going to do the maze again, except this time it's the opposite. You have to check for the first turn, and then the second and third are always the same. So as soon as you turn around, pan your screen to the right, and you're looking for that next gate nearly immediately after the first to the right. If the gap's there, then go right straight out the gate, and then you want to go right again at the second gate. And then you got a few jumps, and then at the third gate you go right as well. So the second and third are always right. It's the first one that you need to check for. For example, the alternative is that as soon as you look right, there's no gate, you know you need to turn left. So turn left straight out the gate, do your jumps, and then you always finish with 2 rights, as I said earlier. So the second and third are always right, and that'll get you out. So it's just that first one you need to check for. And that's it. There's only 2 maze phases. The rest of the fight is literally just dodging those puddles. A few general tips because this game is new. Make sure you're stocked up on the world leaves so that your little toy can keep healing you, as well as using the stellurite crystals, which buff your auto attacks. If you don't have these or know where to get them, go to any of your main cities and the Sundries merchant will give you access to both of those for gold. You might find stocking up on rare and quality health crystals useful as well, and you can get these from the guild merchants in the cities or in your guild hall. Now, without going into build detail, the last thing I'll say is that if you have any passives or specializations that can give you increased or return stamina, with the sword and shield, I'm using Witty Strike, as you see here, which can return a bit of stamina. I found this really useful. If you are using the sword and shield, this is one of the specializations on the skill Witty Strike. As you can see here, that's an option to specialize into for stamina recovery. And if you take consecutive use, using it twice will give you stamina both hits. And that's it everyone. It's a pretty simple boss, but it's quite punishing if you're not dodging those puddles. My kill here was very slow because I leveled as a tank, and I only just hit level 50, so I'm only in green and blue armor and weapons, so my DPS is very low still. But these Gate of Infinity bosses are on a timer. I think they rotate like twice a week or something. So you don't want to miss out the chance on getting some free loot if you haven't killed it this time around. So even if you only just get to level 50, you certainly can still kill these. And you'll get a bunch of those purple precious materials, which will help you out at some point. That's it. If the guide helped at all, please like, comment, or subscribe. It helps me out a whole bunch. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers.